Hello fellow coffee botherers, in this video we're going to be comparing the fully assisted portafilter espresso machines. Let's start with what are fully assisted portafilter espresso machines. Actually, let's take a step back first and talk about what came first before fully assisted espresso machines. What came first were bean-to-cup coffee machines, or what I have to refer to as automatic bean-to-cup coffee machines now, or even automatic brewing unit coffee machines. Just to make it clear what I'm actually talking about, as the water has become so muddied in terms of what's what with all the different kinds of machines available. These are coffee machines with a brewing unit instead of a portafilter, and they take the manual work and expertise out of espresso. It's literally from bean to cup, basically home coffee vending machines. If you want a bit of help wrapping your brain around the various different kinds of coffee machines, see the video that will pop up here at the end of this video and see the link in the description. Automatic machines have become immensely popular as people have cottoned on to the various benefits of using whole coffee beans. But now people are starting to discover the enhanced cup quality that portafilter machines can deliver, and the fact there are now machines available that deliver this kind of cup quality but with similar, in some cases even better convenience and interactive user experience that fully automatic bean-to-cup coffee machines offer. This particular section of the market is getting a lot of attention, especially now that Ninja have started getting involved in this market and have significantly reduced the entry-level price point for machines like this, as we'll discuss shortly. The machines that we're comparing today are the Sage or Breville Barista Touch Impress, the Oracle Touch, the Oracle Jet, and the Ninja Luxe Cafe. We're not doing side-by-side drinks comparisons and so on in this video, as that would be a mammoth video to make and to watch. This is more of a simplified overview comparison as a quick guide for anyone who's finding it difficult to choose. We will, however, do individual comparisons in future videos, some of which will be putting just two of these machines against each other for multiple drinks, some of which will be testing one drink on all the machines. If there's anything specifically along these lines that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments or in the community thread. We're also not doing deep dive reviews of each, simply because we've already done full video reviews on all of these, so see the links in the description if you want to research any of these machines in more detail. What I'm aiming to do in this video is more to give a side-by-side comparison of these machines, explaining who I think each machine is better suited for and why. What do I mean by fully assisted portafilter machines? All of these machines are portafilter espresso machines, so they're not automatic machines in the sense that they have a brewing unit. And I'm referring to these as fully assisted because they're more or less fully assisted, where both the espresso and the milk is concerned. And fully assisted has a better ring to it than more or less fully assisted. So if you're wondering why I'm not including the Barista Express Impress, Barista Touch and Longueuil Specialista machines, that's why. These machines offer some assistance in some areas, but they don't offer assistance with both the espresso and the milk. We could say the Barista Touch Impress and the Ninja Luxe aren't fully assisted because you do have to tamp, but it's literally this. So I think we can let that slide. I'll talk through each machine first and we'll put the specs and dimensions on the screen as I'm talking. We'll also put pricing on the screen for each machine. Let's talk about the Oracle first, as this was the first machine of this kind. It's a dual boiler espresso machine, so this means you can pull shots and steam milk at the same time, but it's also a very temperature precise and stable machine with a heated group. It's basically the Sage or Breville dual boiler, one of the best home espresso machines ever made without a doubt, and you can disagree with me if you like, that's okay. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. But the Sage dual boiler is an incredibly capable home espresso machine at a surprisingly low price point. The Oracle is an integrated grinder version of the dual boiler with auto dosing and auto tamping. The dosing and tamping is volumetric, there's no built-in scales, there's a spoked distribution tool referred to as the tamping fan, which keeps spinning until it reaches a certain amount of resistance. The double shot basket is what some would refer to as a triple, 21 or 22 grams. There's a single shot basket too. You can adjust the doses slightly by adjusting the height of the tamp fan. It has a European Etzinger burrs that all the Sage or Breville integrated grinder machines now have, and it has 45 grind settings. As with all the other Sage or Breville integrated grinder machines, except the Oracle Jet, it also has an internal burr size adjustment available via the top burr. The heat up time will depend on where you are in the world and what voltage you're running on, but I find it's about 5 or 6 minutes. It has a 58mm portafilter, nice big drip tray with about 1.2 litre capacity, 2.5 litre water tank, auto milk frothing with 9 texture settings, and great control over the milk temperature too, up to 75 degrees Celsius. It'll also do a great job of manual steaming, and the thermometer still works while steaming manually, which is handy. It has one touch espresso on long black. The water dispenser is particularly nice. It's more of a tap that allows the hot water to flow down into the cup versus the other type of water dispenser that sprays water in a jet that has a tendency to cause a bit more mess. There's a wheel on the bottom accessed from removing the drip tray, handy when you want to access the back of the machine to remove the tank, but you can fill from the top front too. The brew temperature is adjustable from 86 to 96 degrees Celsius in 1 degree increments, and it has adjustable pre-infusion, with control over the pre-infusion power and time. It also has on-off scheduling with 1 daily schedule. I know that was a lot to take in, but we're going to go through the others by comparison, so it's all downhill from here. Next, the Oracle Touch. This is really easy to compare. It's the same as the Oracle, but it has a touchscreen with preset drinks that you can adjust via the touchscreen. So instead of having to manually change the milk texture to go from cappuccino to a flat white, for example, it's preset. You just select whatever drink you like, and you can change the presets and add your own custom drinks. Also, the touchscreen makes for more interactive guides, including the initial setup, and it's all made more immersive and interactive with the touchscreen. A key difference for me between the Oracle and the Oracle Touch is a single daily auto-on schedule on the Oracle versus the 4 schedules on the Oracle Touch. If you think you'll use the schedules, having up to 4 different daily schedules is quite a big advantage in my opinion, but only if you'll use them. Another key difference is that you don't have the same control over pre-infusion time and power that you do with the Oracle. This is only really a consideration if you're an advanced user, a home barista, maybe thinking of using the machine along with a standalone grinder, while others in the house will use it with the built-in grinder. Most normal, non-home barista users aren't going to be affected by the fact that they don't have the same control over the pre-infusion that they would have with the Oracle. Who would be the best suited to the Oracle and Oracle Touch? These are the only machines here that are dual boiler. They're the slowest to heat up, but they're the fastest to brew with once heated up, as they'll pull shots and steam milk at the same time, and the steam is instantly available once heated up and it's more powerful. Also, with the big 21 to 22 gram dose and the bigger drip tray space, the Oracle and Oracle Touch are more suited to splitting a shot into 2 cappuccino cups, for example, steaming 1 bigger jug of milk and making 2 milk drinks at a time. So these machines are the best suited to bigger volume users and also to people who have a more predictable schedule when it comes to when they want to make coffee. If you're usually only making 1 or 2 drinks at a time and your daily routine is a bit more ad hoc, you might be better suited to one of the other machines, as I'll explain shortly. Next, the Barista Touch Impress. So this has a thermojet heater like the Barista Pro and Bambino Plus, and the main benefit of this is that it's almost instantly ready to use, about 3 seconds, which is almost 0. You do need to heat up the group and the portafilter. It's only the water heater itself that's heated up in 3 seconds, but still, this is a very fast machine. 54ml group and portafilter, again it shares this with the Barista Pro, Bambino Plus and all the other Sage and Breville machines, apart from the Oracles and the dual boiler. 58ml isn't necessarily better than 54ml, by the way, it's not quite that simple. Slimmer, taller pucks are in theory more forgiving than wider, more shallow pucks. The main benefit of 58ml machines is that there are generally more 58ml accessories, given that it's a more standard commercial portafilter size, but there are loads of 54ml accessories these days too. The double shot basket in this is 18 or 19 grams, depending on the beans you're using and the grind size. It's got the same Etzinger burr set and 30 grind settings, with the same internal burr adjustment as the Oracle and Oracle Touch. The tamping is different. It's the puck impress system that's also found on the Barista Express Impress. It auto doses the basket, you press the tamp lever, there's a sensor that senses the height of the coffee in the basket, and it tells you if you need to trim some with the razor tool or grind a bit more. It learns from this, so until you change the grind size or change the beans, you should find the dose is really consistent. It has a touchscreen similar to the Oracle Touch, so you can just swipe and select your drinks, and you can change the milk volumes, milk temperatures and so on for each drink, and you can create your own custom drinks. The milk system on the Touch Impress has the same temperature range as the Oracle and Oracle Touch, up to 75 degrees Celsius. It has 8 texture levels and 4 presets for dairy, oat, soy and almond. 2 litre water tank, decent sized drip tray, no wheel to move it around, although it's not as heavy as the Oracle and Oracle Touch. You've only got 1 water heater for espresso and for milk, but it has queuing, which is really clever. So what this means is that whenever you select a drink that has 2 parts, espresso and milk or espresso and hot water, you can choose which to start with first and the other will be queued up to start when that's done. So you can go off and continue getting ready, trying to find your car keys or socks or whatever. The biggest trick that the Touch Impress has up its sleeve versus the Oracle and Oracle Touch is the Barista Assistant, which means grind size guidance. It tells you on the screen whether the last shot ran in an acceptable time or not, and it suggests an alternative grind size if not, and I've found this to work pretty well most of the time. It's not been perfect. There have been some instances where I know for a fact that the grind size was way off and it didn't tell me to change the grind size, but most of the time it does, and the suggestions it makes seems to be pretty good. So I think this is a very impressive feature. One of the most common questions I get is relating to grind size. It's definitely one of the most common issues that new home baristas get stuck with, and I think it's brilliant that Sage or Breville are starting to focus on this. In terms of espresso quality, this doesn't have the same kind of temperature stability and precision of the Oracle and Oracle Touch. It has a thermojet heater and it doesn't have a heated group, so I wouldn't rate it quite as highly in theory as these when it comes to shot consistency from shot to shot, but honestly I think most people will be very happy with the shot quality. The milk texture is just as good on auto or manual. Who would be best suited to the Barista Touch Impress? The main difference I think in terms of who this will be suited for versus the Oracles, aside from the affordability perspective of course, as this is quite a bit cheaper, is when it comes to the number of drinks you tend to make. If you're someone who never or who rarely makes more than 1 or 2 drinks at a time, then this machine being almost instantly ready is a better match than the Oracle and Oracle Touch. It takes more time and more energy to heat the boilers up on the dual boiler machines. Once they're heated, it doesn't take a great deal more energy to make each drink, and it's quicker. Steam is instantly available and you can steam, milk and pull shots simultaneously, and at the same time. But if you're only making 1 or 2 drinks, then turning it off again, personally, I don't think the dual boiler Oracles are the right choice for that kind of use. It would be a bit of a waste of time and energy to heat up all that water and then make 1 or 2 coffees. Next, the Oracle Jet. Don't know how that keeps happening. So this is similar in size and looks to the Touch Impress, so it's a bit smaller than the dual boiler Oracles. It has 2 thermojet heaters, one for the group and one for the espresso and steam. It has a bigger, faster touchscreen powered by a quad-core processor. It has the same Etzinger burst set, but a new upgraded grinder mechanism. And it does have 45 grind settings. Kind of. This doesn't have the top burr adjustment as all the other Sage or Breville integrated grinder machines have. Instead, all of the range is available via the external adjustment, which I think makes a lot of sense. The reason I say it kind of has 45 grind settings is that another big change with the Jet is it has completely stepless adjustment. So the 45 grind settings are just digital reference points. They could actually give us way more grind settings if they wanted to. And if they did, they could just update the firmware, which leads me to one of my favourite things about this, which is the Wi-Fi chip. You connect this to your Wi-Fi and then when there are new firmware updates available, it downloads them automatically. They've already pushed a couple out, including new recipes and double tap to purge for the grinder and for the group. It has the same level of temperature stability and precision as the dual boiler Oracles, but it's geared up for almost instant use. And really this is the best way to know if you'd be better off with this or the Oracle Touch, for example. If you usually make 1 or 2 drinks at a time, the Oracle Jet will provide a very similar level of shot-to-shot consistency, but it'll do it more time and energy efficiently. I've made 2 flat whites with this using 2 separate double shots and 2 separate jugs of milk in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. So if you compare this to the dual boiler Oracles, this is going to win when it comes to that kind of use. The steam one is just as good as the dual boiler Oracles in terms of milk texture when steaming manually and when steaming on auto with cow's milk. In fact, when it comes to manually steaming, I think a lot of people might find it even better in terms of being easier to learn with, as it's possibly the easiest machine I've used so far in terms of manual steaming. With the auto steaming, something doesn't quite seem to be right when it comes to lower fat milks, including milk alternatives and lower fat dairy milk. Actually, I'm finding oat milk does work slightly better on auto if you choose the dairy setting, but whatever I do, I just can't get good results on auto with anything but full fat moo juice. As far as I can tell, there's an algorithm controlling the air pump on auto, given that just choosing cow's milk when steaming oat milk and choosing the same temperature and texture level produces slightly better results. So I'm assuming they'll be able to update this via a firmware update, and I'm sure they will, as I'm not the only person to point this out. Tom from Tom's Coffee Corner recently posted a video showing the same issue. Oracle Jet is also Sage or Breville's first machine that is capable of cold pressed espresso and cold brew style coffee, and it's very good, by the way, in my opinion. If you're a cold brew fanatic, you may find it's not what you're expecting. I don't usually drink cold brew, but I've had fun with the cold brew style coffee on the Ninja Luxe, and I've had fun with this too. I actually find it really pleasant, even more so with this stuff. As with the Touch Impress, it also has a grind size guidance. Who is the Oracle Jet best suited to? For me, this is their new flagship machine for people who don't usually make more than a couple of drinks at a time, and for people who have more ad hoc brew times. It's clearly well suited to anyone who wants an interactive experience. I think it's their best so far in that regard. I think the Jet is slightly better than their other machines when it comes to people who really value convenience. Some of the features of the new touchscreen are really handy. Being able to quickly hide the drinks from the menu that you don't think you're likely to want, for example. Being able to quickly drag drinks around on the home screen into the best order for you, and how quickly you can create a new drink just by picking one of the presets as the base and tweaking it. Finally, the Ninja Luxe Cafe. Just appeared there like a ninja. This is a thermoblock machine, so it's an on-demand water heater similar to the thermojet used in the Touch Impress and the Oracle Jet. Not quite as fast to heat up, but still pretty fast. There's just one heater, so again, you can't pull shots and steam milk at the same time, but it does have queuing like the Oracle Jet and the Touch Impress. 53mm portafilter. It's a weird looking deep portafilter, but there's a good reason for that. 25 grind settings, spring-loaded tamper, which as I've said isn't auto-tamping, but it may as well be. All you have to do is drop it into the dosing collar and push. It has grind size guidance, so what this produces in relation to all these machines when it comes to espresso-based drinks is very similar, and it's just as simple to use. Without a doubt, the shot quality potential is better on the Sage machines, definitely with the Oracles, including the Oracle Jet, but what that actually translates to in the cup, to be honest, I think will be quite small for most people with normal palates. That's the espresso-based drinks, but then this machine does loads more than that. As I said in the full review video of the Ninja Luxe, link in description, this is more of a multifaceted family coffee machine than an espresso machine, but it does espresso, and it does it pretty flipping well. It'll do cold press espresso and cold brew style coffee, as the Oracle Jet will also do, but none of the other Sage machines do, and it'll do cold milk froth, which none of the Sage machines currently do. And it does filter style coffee, and okay, that's not really filter as such, just as a cold brew isn't really cold brew, as it isn't with the Oracle Jet either, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it, and a family coffee machine capable of making most drinks on the Starbucks menu, if that's what you enjoy, which a lot of people do of course, I think this is a brilliant machine for the money. And it's priced at the kind of price point that I think most people will think is reasonable for a coffee machine. Do I think it's better value than the Sage machines? That's a different story. It depends on how long they last, and it'll depend on whether Ninja put an infrastructure in place for repairing outside of the warranty period. But that's really beside the point if you can afford £500 and you just can't afford £1,200, £1,700 or £2,100. And even if this doesn't turn out to be great long-term value for money and it only lasts you for the period of the guarantee, which is 2 years in the UK, it's not hard to imagine that you'd easily save way more than the price of the machine in this time. Who is the Ninja Luxe Cafe best suited to? Most people, I'd say. I think that most average coffee drinkers, average just meaning normal people who want a coffee machine as means to an end, and that end being having the ability to make all the cafe favourites at home, when they think of buying a coffee machine, this is probably what they're expecting. I think many of the people who bought the Barista Express over the years bought it expecting it to be something like this. Is it going to make quite the same quality of espresso as these? Not quite, especially not the Oracles. But does that matter all that much to the majority of people who'll be using this? Probably not. It'll get them to pretty flipping good really quickly. The barista assistance works very well, as I've said, and for most people that's more than good enough. I think that most people who are considering spending around the same amount of money on an auto beans cut machine will be happier with the results they'll get with this.
A Karen Braddock commented on the Ninja Luxe Cafe tutorial and making all drinks. Hi! I'm getting to grips with the Ninja, but cannot find the tray you put higher up anywhere. Please can you help me? Thanks!
Really sorry, Karen, but I've got it here. Only joking. Yeah, if you've not got it, just check your box, because there were loads of other little bits and pieces, so it might be in there in some of the packaging or something. And if not, just contact Ninja. I'm sure they'll send you another one. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching, and if you think coffee is brilliant and you enjoyed this video, we've got tons of content about how to make better coffee at home to take you from beginner to home barista. We've got reviews and how-tos on the most popular machines. If you like the sound of that, click on my face to subscribe. Tatty Bye.